Happy fall, everybody. It's Jeff from Keller Williams Realty, and today the question is the market changing? We know the seasons are changing. Is the market changing? We've been in a hot seller's market for a long time, and a lot of people want to know, is it going in one direction or the other? And the truth is that markets are always changing. Sometimes the changes are subtle. However, they're always moving in one direction or the other. I would say rarely, if ever, are they staying exactly the same. So even if the moves are subtle, there's always things that are happening. And as you know, and as I mentioned, we've been in a strong seller's market going back to way before COVID. COVID just exacerbated everything and caused even a larger shortage of listings, and buyer demand remained high. So it was a crazy market all during COVID and up until 3 or 4 months ago, and it's still a strong seller's market. And, what's happening now, okay, as we move forward into fall, into winter here in central New York, I think in some ways it's more of the same. And what I mean by that is that it's still a seller's market, still strong buyer demand. I think the biggest difference would be that as compared to 3 or 4 months ago, a property that was on the market then might have received 10 or more offers. That same property now might receive 2 or 3. Of course, there's exceptions to the rule, but I think that's the general trend right now. It's definitely still competitive, and there's still great buyer demand. Prices don't seem like they're dropping at all. We are seeing a few more properties linger on the market slightly longer, and we're seeing a few more that have price reductions before they sell. So that's what's going on. Now, what do the numbers actually show? It's interesting to note when we're looking at the numbers that many of the numbers that we look at are actually lagging indicators. They show or are a reflection of business that was being done 2 or 3 months ago. At least that's when it was initiated, because it takes a couple of months to close a real estate transaction. So many of the numbers show up later, and what's happening on the street in the marketplace today, in the present, could actually be slightly different. So we have to keep our finger on the pulse. But let's look at those numbers. Over the last 3 months, the number of new listings has actually decreased. It went down 6.2% for single-family homes and 7.1% for condominiums and townhouses. In terms of pending sales, over the last 3 months, they were down 24.4% for single-family residences and 16.2% for condos and townhouses. Inventory levels, in other words, what's on the market for sale, it's down 2% for single-family residences and 34.4% for condos and townhouses. I think that's pretty interesting that there's such a vast difference in inventory levels for those two different categories of properties. In the last 12 months, days on the market from list to contract acceptance has been 24 days for a single-family residence and 22 days for a condo or a townhouse. It actually feels to me like it's less than that, but that's what the numbers are showing. Average price. Here in Onondaga County, it's about $225,000. With all the marketplaces thrown into a blender that are part of our multiple listing service area here, it's about $200,000. It's up 12 to 13% over a year ago, and it's up 20% over the last 24 months. So there's been significant equity buildup for sellers, significant increase in average price. Percentage of list price received. Okay, that's what you can expect to receive if you've got a property that's merchandised well, staged well, priced right. On average, 101 to 102% of list price is what you can expect. So many offers are coming in for sellers in excess of the list price. That is continuing right now, although probably to a lesser degree. 5 or 6 months ago, even 3 or 4 months ago, you were seeing properties sell for 20, 30, 40, 50,000 more than they were listed for. I think that's being tempered a little bit in today's environment. So general trends are, we're not expecting huge changes in the next several months. Of course, there's a little bit of seasonality. You've got the holidays coming, but things do still move in the winter in central New York. A lot of people think nothing sells in the winter, but hundreds of homes get sold during the winter months. So we have to keep going 12 months a year here. It's just the way it is in Syracuse. We're New York tough, I guess, is the way it might be described, or maybe upstate tough is a better way. Interest rates right now, pretty stable. Inventory levels are still what we discussed. There's less listings on the market than we really need. to create a balanced marketplace, buyer demand is still strong. So we'll be checking in with you again. We'll be keeping our finger on that pulse of the market and really helping, hopefully, you to navigate the real estate market, whether you're buying or selling or just wants to know what's going on. We will talk to you soon. Jeff Roney from Keller Williams. Have a great weekend.